Song that's playing for you is They Don't Care About Us. So with that being said, whoever they is in your atmosphere, whether they is a person or it's just like the mentalities and the habits you pick up, it shows signs that you don't really care about yourself when you express yourself like this, or when you invest in this type of environment, space, or action. You feel me? And now, again, whether that's you doing it to yourself or you realize someone outside of you doesn't care about you the way you think they care about you. Yeah, put your foot in the shoe that fits you, though. And you're no longer letting somebody get away with something. Now you're expressing something. Whether you're expressing how you feel in a relationship, a friendship, and or, you feel me, whatever atmosphere you're in, whatever space you involve yourself with. Hey, you ain't doing something no more. Or you can't do something no more. Because you showed signs that you didn't care about that. So because you showed signs that you didn't care about that, though you may have actually cared about that, though you may have actually been in a certain type of space internally about a situation, friendship, or relationship, how you invested in it wasn't in the manner you should have to express or portray this. So because you showed that you didn't care about that, you don't get to do that anymore. Whatever that is. Or that now that's how you could be seeing somebody outside of you. You're no longer investing in this situation or this relationship because you realize every time you invested in this, you were only lying to yourself because you wanted something to be a certain type of way. But no matter how much you want something to be a certain type of way, what it is what it is. It is what it is. You feel me? And now it's like you could be accepting that. Yeah, now that you got emotional clarity about what you invested in. Yeah, look, you invested in something. Now you don't want to be a part of this energy no more. I don't want to associate myself with this expression. I don't want to be known for this anymore. I don't want to be seen like this, or for this, or by this, or with this. Put your foot in the shoe that fits you. Yeah, you happy now. You know what makes you happy. If it's you versus something external to you, you could be in a situation, if it's you versus someone or somewhere, because the song is They Don't Care About Us. You could not be, something outside of you makes you happy and you're not a part of that. You're not investing or building on that. Though you could be building on it just in a lower way, because it's like you don't want that to be the thing that makes you happy. So in order for, it's like you might be letting your insecurities take over you in some way, shape, or form right now. Just because it's something new, so to speak. But at the same time, whatever it is, it makes you happy. But it's like you're building a wall, so you're building reasons as to why that shouldn't be the reason you're happy. You feel me? It's kind of funky. Because look, you got the 3 of coins in reverse too. So it's like you're making excuses as to why that shouldn't be why you're happy. It's like you don't want yourself to be happy. It's like you're convincing yourself something or someone doesn't care about you in some way, shape, or form. You killing your own dreams. You killing your own mentality. Or if it's you versus someone outside of you, you could be being influenced in some way, shape, or form. That person doesn't really care. So whether it's your external environment, that person doesn't really care about me. You feel me? It's like that type of shit. Or if it's you versus you in a sense where you stop investing in something in order to bring yourself back to your happy place, so to speak. You're no longer working. It's like you're taking steps in order for you to build, because what you were invested in the past wasn't a good long-term thing. You feel me? It wasn't a good thing to hold on to, whether it was routines, whether it was patterns, habits you had, or just minds you had made up. And you realize, though, I can't keep thinking like this. I can't keep acting like this. I can't keep doing this, because it's only going to lead me to a dead end in some way, shape, or form. So now it's like now you got your eyes on the right type of prize. Yeah, put your foot in the shoe that fits you, though. 10 freaky girls. You had a whole bunch of feminine energies, whether it was out, you could have been surrounded by some freaks. All right, it didn't have to be an actual female. It could just the feminine energies you were surrounded by might have been toxic, and they was killing your better minds. 10 swords. 10 freaky girls, 10 coins. You had a whole lot of bad influences around you. The first song I was playing for you is They Don't Really Care About Us. Second song is 10 Freaky Girls. They, your external world or your internal world, your commandments, with the rules you went by, the things that the lists you made up internally. You feel me? For whatever category of life we talking about, don't just make this relationship. You had to burn that. You feel me? You had to get rid of that mindset. You had to stop doing something. You had to stop thinking like something. You had to stop seeing something, somewhere, or someone a certain type of way. And look, you have to let that. Yeah, you have to let that go. That way you shouldn't. That was not the right way to. You know that now. When it comes to a situation like this, or when it just comes to me, I'm not going to think or move or express myself in this manner anymore. Whatever this was, because you was putting something out there that wasn't good for you. You had to let that go in order for you to become aware of where your happiness lies. In what actions, in what motions, what do you have to invest in internally or externally that brings you joy in some way, shape, or form, that brings you emotional fulfillment in the best way. You feel me? Oh, that's too much. Yeah, if it's you versus someone outside of you, it's like you see a space outside of you. If you can see, now it's like now you can see danger. When it comes, now that you've been through a situation like this, now when you get an idea, you can think about an idea in a sense to know, all right, this ain't going to lead up to something good. Now that you've been through whatever fire you just been through, now that you had to stop doing whatever you was doing, you feel me? If it's you versus you in the sense where you are still doing something, you're working on something in the negative way. It's like you're working on something, you're trying to build. It's like you're a hater. Yeah, that's another shoe. Because someone outside of you is happy. So you may be investing in minds, mentalities, whether you talking to people around you, you expressing yourself to people around you to get people to, it's like to get people to think about a situation or a person or a space a certain type of way. It's that type of shit. Because somebody outside of you happy. And ultimately you're only fucking yourself up with the Three of Wands. Now the road ahead of you ain't looking so bright. Because someone outside of you is still happy. And put your foot in the shoe that fits you, Taurus. That's another shoe. If it's you versus you. If it's you versus someone outside. If it's you versus someone outside of you and you're happy because you walked away from something that you shouldn't have been invested in anymore. In the past, you had to let someone, something, or somewhere go. Now you black. To be honest, you had to be honest. Because back in the day, someone wasn't being honest. So whether you had to be honest with yourself, or someone started being honest with you and they told you were toxic. Someone was toxic in this situation. Someone was alive. If it's you versus you and you just battling yourself right now, then you had some bad habits you had to knock in order for you to participate in the space that makes you happy. It ain't easy knocking it though. I'm gonna be on with the Queen of Wands. If it's you versus you, it ain't easy knocking whatever this is. To stop expressing yourself the way you've been expressing yourself. It's almost like to change whatever your image, whether it's how you see yourself or how your external world responds and reacts to you. It lets you know this is how my external world receives me type shit. It's almost like some shit like that. You may not want to be received a certain type of way anymore. But this might be your karma. Might be your karma. Yeah, you look. Death because somebody got burned. If it's you versus someone outside of you, someone outside of you was the hater. Someone outside of you crossed you in some way, shape, or form. Now they don't feel good because you're not investing in the relationship or the friendship you share with them anymore. You ain't focused the same way you used to be focused on that situation. And that's because someone took an action towards you and invested something and made you start being more honest with yourself about that friendship or relationship. Now you emotionally closed off. Shit, you might have actually left a friend. You might have actually left a relationship because you realized how toxic it was. Last card is the Empress in reverse. So now you closed off to this toxic energy. If it's you versus you in the sense, if it's you versus someone outside of you, someone outside, and you're the toxic one, someone outside of you could be closed off to emotionally receiving your emotions about a situation and or space because of what you did in the past in that space. The first song that was playing with you, for you, was They Don't Really Care About Us. Now it's To Be Honest. You had to be honest with yourself as to why a situation ended the way it ended. Or someone outside of you was being honest with themselves as to why the situation with Taurus ended the way it ended. And that's because someone wasn't being honest. And that's the karma. Put your foot in the shoe that fits you.